Hi everyone, this is Angelica. How are you today? Um, so I wanted to kind of go over a couple things with everyone. So first of all, I've been getting a lot of emails and a lot of comments, um, both through my personal email and through the YouTube comments section about people going through really intense shifts with the spiritual awakening. And I know that it can be really, really, really difficult because I went through it and it can be extremely scary. But one of the things I want everyone to know is that I can't personally, I can kind of tune into your energy field, but I really need to be able to work with you personally, one-on-one, in order to get the whole scope of what exactly the factors are and what you're personally going through and be able to help walk you through it and help guide you through it. So in order to do that, I will have to ask you to go onto my website and schedule a spiritual counseling appointment where I'll go through and ask you a series of questions and then can better assess your situation and what you may need. Through the YouTube channel, I can be very general. So what I like to focus on is generally, if you are going through a spiritual awakening, these are things that will happen. And so, but everyone is so specific, and just like, I'm a diet counselor too, so just like with diet, everybody's body is different. Everybody is handling this process and this energy a little bit differently. So you will, need special attention to your particular needs. So if you would like to do that, please go on to my website, angelstartherapies.com, and go under services, and then go ahead and schedule a spiritual counseling or guidance appointment. So as far as like the emails and the YouTube goes, I can answer quick questions, and it may or may not, be what you need because, like I said before, it's general. It's very general. But, so the beginning stages of an awakening is really, really intense and really, really can be upsetting and can be extremely emotional because it's like you're having the whole way that you've lived up to that point being like ripped away from you in a sense because you realize that the way that life was is not that way anymore. And in fact, what has happened is that it's expanded into being so much more than what your narrow mind was capable of, perceiving at that time. So what's happening is you are expanding your mind, your energy, your body is taking in more light. You are raising up higher in your consciousness. And when you do this, the density and the ego, which is dense and fixated with the third dimensional reality, will kind of like try to keep you down, keep you dense, especially the ego. It doesn't want you to expand. It doesn't want you to grow. And so this is where a lot of the pain comes in. You are expanding. You are becoming more light. And it's your narrow thinking and your mind and your ego that's saying, no, we want to hold on to this, what we thought was real. So, that's why breathing and allowing and meditating is just a kind of like shutting your mind off because there's something so much bigger than just your narrow mind, and that is your spiritual self, your awareness of just being. And I realize it's very difficult to shut down that thinking mind because I think a lot too. So, and another thing is if you are a sensitive person, and if you are going through a spiritual awakening, most likely you're very sensitive, you're feeling everything around you. And the thing is this has been a really big one for me. How do you block that? Now, so for so long I tried to block it, and then when I tried to block it, it would come in more, and I would feel it more. So I just kind of had to like let it go and just realize that we are all going through this awakening process together, although some are at different stages than others, and some of us can help others, and some of us will be helping others soon. And that's another thing that I really want to focus on with my particular clients, is showing you that most likely you have a purpose or a mission, and you're here to serve humanity in some way. And if I can like give you that guidance that you need to push you through to the next level so that you can become the person that you're supposed to be within this cycle and this changing and this, you know, upliftment of the earth into a new reality, then that is what I'm being called to do at this moment. So for those of you that can't do a spiritual counseling appointment, just know that the beginning stages of the awakening process are very, very difficult, as the emotions and the thoughts and the feelings and the old ways of being are being purged and cleansed from your being. The difficulty in it is this: it doesn't just go away. You know, it doesn't. The light energy comes in, and the old darkness, or you know, whatever, the old density. I don't really want to use the word darkness, but the old density comes up through you, and while it is being released, while it is going back up through you to be released from your physical being, you feel these things again really intensely. Almost as if you were going through the pain and the emotions that are being released again. So it's almost as if you're feeling all this pain that you thought was gone, when in reality you were just stuffing it away so that, you know, you could handle your everyday life. And you are going through and feeling it all again, as it was almost happening again. And so it's at these times when you will be kind of like taken really off track, off guard, because all of a sudden these emotions will just come in and like overpower you, and your first reaction is like, no, I don't want this to happen. Where are these feelings coming from? No, this, you know, can't be happening. And we fight against it. And in fighting against it, it makes it worse. And instead of like the body going through its natural process of releasing the energy and letting it flow through and moving up and out of our bodies, we actually create it to stay longer because of our resistance to it. So, if you do have if you are going through a time right now that is very difficult for you, and you don't quite know what to do, the first thing that the most helpful for me going through my spiritual awakening was going outside and walking in nature. And I know, like, everyone says that, and it seems so like, oh, yeah, you know, I already tried that once. Well, the thing is that I walk a lot. Like, I walk almost every day, and, you know, jog and run a little bit, too. And even doing this for 5 or 6 years consistently, I still, like, oh, I don't want to go, you know? Like, oh, you know, how much is that going to help? You know, or whatever our mind does. It helps so much. Like, after I'm done with my walk or my run, I feel, and in nature, you know, I guess you could go somewhere else, but try to find a park or just try to find some trees or try to find a little bit of nature that you could just go and, you know, get your thoughts and your feelings, you know, flowing so that they can flow out more easily. And that's what happens when you walk or you do some sort of physical exercise out in nature, because nature is more in tune with your actual natural state of being. And so when you go out into nature and vibrate with nature, you are taking on those vibrations and letting things be more allowed in your space. So yeah, this is the process we're all going through. Humanity is awakening. And even though there's things going on out there that seem like humanity's not awakening, the one event in the news that you really don't have any personal experience of knowing what's actually going on there, you need to just let those things just go. I mean, the purpose of those things is to try to traumatize you. It's to try to keep you down in the lower mind. It's trying to get at your emotions and trying to get you to trying to get you to react to a situation. So, you know, just allow everything to be as it is and really work on yourself and work on improving your health through diet, through eating more fruits and vegetables, through walking, through getting more sunshine, through meditating. So there's certain practices that you want to start to cultivate in your life to allow these things to flow better. And I have 3 children, so I'm a mother, and I realize that sometimes, you know, if you are a mother as well, if you have children, if you're a father, you may be like, oh, that's kind of difficult to do. Well, no, kids love to go for walks too. Kids love to go outside and play. So, and kids love the sun. Kids love to be healthy. It's their natural state too. They're more in tune with nature than we are because they're younger. So if you do have children, they'll come with you. You know, just involve them in these things, and it will help the whole family. So I guess I just wanted to say, if you are going through some really hard times right now, it will ease up. I mean, there was times when I was going through really hard times with my spiritual awakening, and I thought I was never gonna be out of it at all. I couldn't even see any light at the end of the tunnel at all, and I'm just like, why am I going through this? I just didn't understand, you know, and it was so difficult, and I didn't have anyone to talk to, and I didn't have YouTube back then. I guess I didn't even know about YouTube back then, if there was YouTube. It was very traumatizing for me. It was very difficult, and I had to figure it out all out on my own. There's some other factors. That's why I say, like, you know, spiritual awakenings are different for everyone. Everyone has a different role to play on the planet right now. Everyone has a different situation, and so when it comes down to those details and those personal experiences, that's where my spiritual guidance and counseling can really help you, because we can work together on a specialized plan to get you through this more easily. So I really do need to know your specific information and your specific, you know, situation. Because there is like a time frame for how long, you know, some stages last in the spiritual awakening ascension process. People call it ascension. I don't know if I would call it that. It is an awakening for sure. So when we're going through this, there is stages, there's time frames, and so you can know where you're at and kind of, you know, if I can, like, you know, get a fuller scope and bigger picture of what's going on with you, then I can really help you more fully. So, all right, everybody, I don't want to go over. This is already 15 minutes, and I'm talking a lot, but I'm going to get it more into the specifics of the stages and the symptoms and the signs. If you don't know if you're going through a spiritual awakening, but it seems that a lot of you probably do if you are experiencing this. So, yes, I will start to go into more of those things in detail with you, so that can be helpful. Anyway, I hope everyone has a beautiful day, and if you can, get outside and walk and just tune into nature and to your own inner light and your own inner being, and know that all is well and everything will work out, and even if it doesn't look like it, it will. So I love you all, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.